Good morning, brothers and sisters, families and friends. How are you feeling this fine Friday morning? I'm feeling spectacular. Got a good run in this morning. As always, that makes me feel good, especially when I can feel that I ran good. I don't know if you know what that feeling is, but you feel like you just were unstoppable. So much stamina, so much strength, weren't winning all that much. It was awesome. It was awesome. I felt like I put in something special today, and my body, my mind, and my soul will reap the benefits of it later. In fact, I'm reaping some of the benefits right now. I'm happy. Okay, I got some spoken word for the people today. Again, I'm reading it, but I actually memorized this at one point, so it won't be much for me to kind of like re-memorize it because it's back there somewhere, somewhere in the cloud, and I just gotta bring it to the forefront of my mind and keep it there. It's strange to me how a lot of poems that I memorized a long time ago, they're always with me. I can never forget them. And then other poems that I've memorized and maybe had to rememorize them on multiple occasions to recite for, a poetry slam or something along that lines. I always forget them. But one thing about me, if I memorize something once, whether it stays with me like some things do, still don't know how that happens, I can always put it back in my mind in a matter of 30 minutes or so, give or take. I memorized Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech, and I recited that every year for about 4 or 5 years straight, maybe on numerous occasions, but especially during Black History Month in prison. And that was just to give the brothers kind of like a quasi live presentation, man, of what Dr. King said. And I always challenge other brothers to memorize famous speeches, probably by Frederick Douglass or Booker T. Washington or W.E.B. Du Bois. And me, I just like I Have a Dream. But I have memorized Frederick Douglass' 4th of July speech. Oh, if you have not, can't say if you have not heard it, because who has heard it, right? But if you have not read that speech and the way that brother snapped on them people when they asked him, had the audacity to ask him to speak on the 4th of July, on Independence Day, when you had slavery so prevalent in the southern states at that time. Speaking about independence in the presence of a bunch of free white people, a black man, runaway slave. I'm talking about had the experience of slavery down to the science with the scars on the back from the whips and the beatings to prove it. Love Frederick Douglass. Some people even say I look like Frederick Douglass. What do you say? Okay, this poem is titled Come Up Here. And I wrote this poem as a challenge to men in prison who were living below the standard that God had purpose for them to live. It was a challenge to get them to rise, to excel, to ascend, to come out of the pit that they had by their own choice and volition put themselves in. And hopefully, maybe you know someone who needs to receive this, to get this challenge, to come up here. I dedicate this to my brother, Gary Castor. Can't wait till you go home. I know you remember this. Me and you, man, Black history, making it happen. Come up here. Yes, you down there in the muck and mire of your cowardice and fear. With your blinded eyes and your bleeding ears, please come up here. Yes, you who willingly choose to lose, bow down and broken, bruised and confused, emasculated and stripped of your ability to use common sense, knowledge, and intellectual strength. You exude weakness, and nothing of any worth ever proceeds from your lips. You move as if your backbone has been removed. Your wrist hangs limp, and I wouldn't be surprised if you sit down when you piss. And look at how you advertise your behind and do so with pride, as if this could ever exist as dignified and honorable behavior, all taste with no flavor, sight with no vision, sound with no listen, mind with no mission, created to shine, but you refuse to glisten. So just give it a moment. These words that are spoken, for they will be made abundantly clear. Come up here, where wisdom dwells, and a fire that cleanses but does not burn, where every lesson learned brings a blessing in return, where geniuses ponder the infinite extremes of the cosmos and the intricate dreams of a sleeping soul, and the mysterious things that the eyes never behold, then shapes them and displays them like a flower unfolds. Here is where freedom contemplates on how to emancipate slaves, with an emphasis on the prevention of an early entrance into the grave. Here is where the bondage of ignorance releases the convicts, and the knowledge of the righteous liberates the conscience. Here is where integrity is truly tried on for size, where the truth saves lives and every lie is forced to die. Here is where we do not hide, we do not run, we do not make excuses for being dumb, because stupidity is not allowed up here. Hypocrisy is not allowed up here. Perversity of any kind is not allowed up here. No booty hole hound or mush mouth clown will ever be found up here. I look around up here and I'm astounded up here by the beauty and the majesty that surrounds me up here. And the only thing that seems out of place are the tears that trickle down my face and gather at the tip of my chin and break free and fall down there for people like you who just won't come up here. Come up here where we search out the meaning and find the words manifest in the context of a subject and a verb, a complete thought expressed for all that it is worth. Here is where we comprehend the universe and conquer the earth. Here is where the books stay open and the pen steadily moves to prove that here is where every revolution begins and where every revolutionary is born. For example, Noah, Abraham, and Moses are up here. Alexander, Caesar, and Jesus are up here. Malcolm, Martin, and Mandela are up here. Every dearly departed civil rights martyr is up here. Kings, queens, presidents, and prophets. Philosophers, astronomers, and scholars. Mathematicians, physicians, leaders in positions, dietitians for intellectual nutrition. God, self-existent, in the beginning, articulating, perpetuating, creating the invitation to exceed the gravitation of the attitude of the average dude's expectations to the magnitude of the altitude elevation of the best and the greatest with room to be better and a whole plethora of prominent etceteras are up here. So you get the gist. Only the distinguished make the list. Obviously, this is something that you've missed, but all is not lost. For the distance between you and me is not too far. Just reach out. That's right. Take my hand. This is your beginning of becoming a man. Steady now. Don't buckle under this challenge. Keep your composure. Maintain your balance. Step by step by step by step. That's right. Committed and sincere. But you're not finished yet. Look down and tell the rest to come up here.